All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. You can count Indianapolis Colts team owner Jim Irsay as one person who does not feel that the National Football League should change its approach in regards to how salary finances are structured for the running back position, as this has been a hot topic with Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and Tony Pollard all being franchised this offseason by their respective teams, and also without any of them getting a long term deal before the start of training camps. Irsay feels that both the league and the union negotiated in good faith to get the current CBA done, and he wants the players to abide by that. Now, Irsay was quoted by ESPN.com where it says, "We have negotiated a CBA that took years of effort and hard work and compromise in good faith by both sides. To me, to say now that a specific player category, wants another negotiation after the fact is inappropriate. Some agents are selling bad faith." And this, of course, was a quote from ESPN.com, which is what Irsay wrote on social media. But I will say this: Jim Irsay is absolutely correct about the CBA being in place, but something that he has clearly forgotten, and that is this: in the past, we have seen the team owners of the NFL exercise an opt out to get out of the CBA when they felt that they were getting the short end of the stick in regards to the money. This has happened multiple times. Remember, the 2011 NFL lockout was the cause of this. And I guarantee you, at somehow, some way, at some point down the road, you're probably going to see the owners exercise that at some point again. So they used their opt out when they were seeking more money because they wanted to adjust things. Well, obviously, the players' union doesn't have an opt out at this point, but I guarantee you that this is going to be a very hot topic going forward. We've seen, a lot of running backs, come together on a Zoom call recently to discuss the state of their position. And honestly, like I've talked about it, the running backs, unfortunately, are getting and have gotten the dry shave financially in the NFL for some time now. You go back to this being a suppressed market for running backs and the deals with the Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott deals. But, as critical as people can be in regards to trying to lump all of the running backs together, again, like I said the other day, they don't bat an eye when these quarterbacks are getting their money. And like a lot of these quarterbacks are not living up to the financial billings that they're receiving. And that could be said at other positions as well. But then also, let's focus on Irsay here. I mean, this guy has one of the better running backs on his team in the NFL right now, and Jonathan Taylor. Of course, we saw Taylor have that monster 2021 where he rushed for more than 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns. Had a step back last year, but of course, this Colts team as a whole had a step back. And I guarantee you, as productive as Jonathan Taylor was in 2021 for the Indianapolis Colts, with his contract coming around the bend, or him seeking a new contract coming around the bend, Irsay and his Colts front office are not only going to use his very productive 2021 season against him, also they're probably going to try to shortchange him, franchise him, and string him along because it's 2020 and then 192 more last year for a grand total of 756. Not to mention, this guy was a workhorse back in college at the University of Wisconsin. Something else that I guarantee you is going to be held against him. Like I've said before, changes need to be made to the CBA. First and foremost, I do believe that, there needs to be a change for the running back position. Maybe not allowing them to be franchised at all. Basically, when the contract is up, you just become an unrestricted free agent and you have an opportunity to go out there and get a bigger payday. Remember, the biggest contract that was handed out to a running back this offseason was Miles Sanders getting 4 years, $25 million from the Carolina Panthers. But I will say this about Irsay. Um, he has had, a history of being hypocritical, and I'm going to call him a hypocrite on this, but he's had a history of it. I mean, you think back to 2014, this was the same Jim Irsay that was arrested on suspicion of DUI and drug possession. That resulted in him being suspended by the NFL for 6 games, as well as being assessed with a $500,000 fine. A fine and a suspension that many of the players around the league felt was a slap on the wrist because they felt, and I'm sure they still feel, that team owners, should be held to a higher standard as opposed to players. So it's one of those, we know that the NFL is making money hand over fist. We know that the team owners are making money hand over fist as well. Nobody is getting into this business just to be a charity or just to have their name thrown around that they are a team owner in the National Football League. No, they're doing it for money. Again, the running back position has been suppressed. This is something that I definitely feel is going to be addressed in the next CBA. I'm not saying that the running backs are going to get everything that they are seeking, but I think this is something, it's been put out there in the mainstream, and I think it's something that's going to stick out there with so many big name running backs unhappy, so many big name running backs still currently unsigned with training camps commencing in the National Football League. Dalvin Cook's out there, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, and of course, the franchise tags with Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and Tony Pollard. So the thing for me is certain things should have been left alone. I think Jim Irsay should have left this topic alone, but I think at the end of the day, he's only adding more fuel to the fire. He is showing the issue that the running backs have, this my way or the highway, mentality, if you will, from Irsay and the other team owners, as he's just a reflection, in my opinion, of the majority of that room, is only further illustrating the issue that the running backs have. You want these guys to go out there and produce, but you don't want to pay them a quality money. It's a problem for the NFL, and hopefully they fix this issue sooner rather than later. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.